in sports. We're down to the second last week of playing on the gridiron. Games are on top as well.
Welcome to NTV Sports Central with your host, Randy Silver. After a week off for the 4th of July weekend, I hope everybody had a great time. We're back, folks. There were fireworks on the 4th of July, and there were fireworks at the Big 12 Media Day by former player of the Huskers, former coach Scott Frost. And that's the main story today. We're going to break down his comments that has everybody around the Cornhusker community, college football community, up in arms. What did he say? Why did he say it? Why is this such a tone-deaf comment? We're going to break it all down for you. Yes, your boy Randy Silver is relatively new to Nebraska. I've been here for a couple months, but I am a sports reporter, a journalist at heart. I did my homework. I'm a football fan. I understand what has happened with Scott Frost as a coach and the bitterness of the breakup that Nebraska fans have wanted to let go, but he seems to not let it go. And his comments only prove his tone deafness and really how out of touch he is. And where is he right now? He's at UCF, University of Central Florida in Orlando, where I just came from. I covered that team for multiple years. Now I'm on this side of it, so it's interesting to see. But we're going to break it all down for you. I'm going to give my thoughts and the thoughts of Nebraska fans. And then secondly, folks, as we always do, a roaming with Randy. I got to attend my first rodeo, and it was super fun. So we'll play you some clips from the rodeo, Clearwater's big rodeo up in northern Nebraska. And then if you want to watch the full vlog video, interviews with cowboys, cowgirls, the fans there, workers, everything in between, you can see it, link in the bio right here. But folks, that is a packed schedule today. And of course, voicemails. And this is the episode where I want to hear from you. Give me your thoughts on Scott Frost. Please, in our Facebook Messenger, our Instagram Messenger at NTV News or Randy Silver TV, send me your thoughts on the comments. I want to play them. I want this to be interactive for Nebraska fans to hear from each other. Okay, so folks, what we have to do is start with this. While at Big 12 Media Day representing UCF, he was asked a question, a layup question, folks. As a reporter, this is a layup, not a gotcha, not trying to get you to say anything you don't want to say. The question was basically, what did you learn from your time at Nebraska? You know, I got to be a better coach, got to do a better job with the players, etc. Whatever, layup question. No more distractions. He says, don't take the wrong job. The former Nebraska football coach said in answer to the big question, don't take the wrong job. I said I wouldn't leave UCF unless it was some place you could win a national championship. I got tugged in a direction that tried to help my alma mater and didn't really want to do it. It wasn't a good move. I'm lucky to get back to a place where I was a lot happier. Of course, he left UCF for the Cornhuskers and is now back at UCF. Another comment hinted that he didn't like the expectations at Nebraska. At one point during his return to UCF at the Big 12 Media Day, he said this event was way more relaxed than other media days he had done. Don't take the wrong job. I got pulled in the wrong direction. Wild. Just wild, tone-deaf comments. If we look at Nebraska head football coaches, folks, Matt Rule is one game under 500 after 2 years. Okay, give him a break. He's building. Third year looking pretty good. We got the schedule to our right. You can see it. Scott Frost was there for 3 years. 3 or 4 seasons, 16 and 31. A 34% winning percentage. A 34% winning percentage. And you took the wrong job. Mike Riley, 19 and 19. Okay, broke even. Bo Pelini, 67 and 27. 71% win percentage. 500 or better. Mike Riley, 500 or better. Bill Callahan, 27-22. A 55% win percentage. 500 or better. Now we're going back to 1998. Frank Solich, 58 and 19. 75% win percentage. Tom Osborne, the legend, 73 to 97, 255 wins, 49 losses, an 83% win percentage. And yes, Scott Frost was on a national championship team with Osborne. Bob Devaney, 1962, 1972, 10 years, 101 wins, 20 losses, 83% win percentage. 83%. 1962, all the way up to the 2010s. Again, going back to Scott Frost, 2018, every coach had a winning season. Bill Jennings, 57 to 61, 15 to 34, 31%. Bob, Tom, Frank, Bill, Bo, Mike. 6 coaches over 5-6 decades, all winning percentage. Winners. 500 or better. Now, national championships, bowl games, different story. But if you look at the regular season across the board, winners. Scott Frost. Not even 40% winning percentage, 34%. But he took the wrong job. It's not his fault. It's the program's fault. Don't take the wrong job. I thought I could win a national championship. I got tugged in the direction to try to help my alma mater and didn't really want to do it. It wasn't a good move. I'm in a better spot. So it's not my fault that every other coach had a winning percentage that was positive or even. No, I got messed up. And we've heard rumors and stories about things that happened outside of the football program. I am not a gossip type of person. I'm not here to talk about that. Yes, it plays a part in his coaching style and being with the team. But when you look at on the field, Matt Rule, again, we look at this schedule over here. I think easily 11 wins this season. Cincinnati, Arrowhead, they should be able to win that game. Then you get Akron and Houston Christian at home, should be able to win those games. Need to win those games. Michigan at home, first real test you have to think. Cincinnati, Big 12, we're going to break down what they said at the Big 12 Media Day as well. And then Michigan State at home. You can go 5-0. And Michigan does not have their head coach suspended for the whole situation dealing with player recruitment. Maryland, Minnesota on the road, not the toughest games. Northwestern, Southern Cal at home. Need to win those games. UCLA on the road. Then Penn State on the road. That is probably going to be your toughest game of the season. Of course, the rivalry, day after Thanksgiving, Iowa at home. That game could decide a playoff berth for the Huskers. Matt Rule should have a positive season this year. 11 wins easily. If all goes right, and of course, player health, etc. But Scott Frost, it's not his fault. Let's show the differences between the two coaches. Matt Rule went to Nebraska after the Carolina Panthers in the NFL. He went to the Panthers after being very successful at Baylor. It did not work out with Carolina. Unfortunately, he got let go. His response on what happened, every job I had taken before that had a happy ending. So you kind of assume it's always going to work out. For me, I'm probably a lot better now coming off some adversity. I learned a lot about leadership and leading in tough times. Self-awareness, self-reflection, understanding the goods and the bads, taking a look at everything holistically and understanding what you did right and what you did wrong, and using that to be better in your next performance, your next job. Scott Frost, don't take the wrong job. When asked, what could you have done differently or what have you learned from your time at Nebraska? Don't take the wrong job. Scott Frost, I'm probably a lot better now coming off some adversity. I learned a lot about leadership and leading in tough times. Leading in tough times, leadership, don't take the wrong job. Not a leader of a program I want. Somebody I'm willing to jump through a hoop for. Someone I'm willing to run through a brick wall with. That's the leader I want for my program. And when I see Rule around the Nebraska campus, I see stuff on social media, how he interacts with players, with prospects, with recruits, with other people in the community, just day-to-day stories. I've heard about him playing pickleball with people, him at restaurants being very nice to the waiting staff, to everyone at the restaurant, taking the time for the fans and the people in the community. That's what I want as a coach. That type of comment, that type of leader. Not this. Don't take the wrong job. It's just a really unaware, a really self-deprecating. It's just disappointing. I can't even speak right now. It's just disappointing. That's what you say when you get a softball question. Scott Frost has one winning season at UCF. His first year as a head coach, 6-7. Losing season. Lost in the Cure Bowl. Made a bowl game. 6 games. Winning automatically gets you into the bowl game. UCF, Scott Frost, 2017. 13-0. Won the Peach Bowl. AP High 6. In the new BCS system, they would have been in the playoffs. Potentially named national champions before that because they were undefeated. But no, they were just in the Peach Bowl as a mid-major team before UCF moved to the Big 12. And fair enough, give Scott Frost credit. He helped the momentum of UCF getting to the next level in sports. Again, they were mid-major here. He left to go to Nebraska. Come back. Hero, the prodigy child. Multi-position player. Started at Stanford. Came to Nebraska. Came back home. Played. Helped the Huskers win a national championship. Can he do it again as a coach? 4-8 his first year. Okay, folks. Not good, but you're rebuilding a team. Trying to do well. Rebuild a team, shape in your mold. Again, if we want to look at something really quickly, let's just open Nebraska for a second, 2018. His offense, great. 456 yards total offense per game in the 2018 season. 247 passing, 209 rushing. That's great. However, 2 sides of the ball, technically 3 when you include special teams. 433 yards given up on defense. Almost 200 yards rushing on the ground itself. 237 passing. It was good that we had the solid offense, but if your defense isn't going to be able to stop anybody as well, every game is a shootout and you're not going to win games, and that's what happened. 2019, 5-7. 1 game improvement. Did make an AP preseason poll 24, AP high 24. Not good. 1 game improvement is all we get. Fine. Total offense, 417. Total defense, 389. Again, if we go back really quickly, total offense, 456. Total defense, 433. So we went down on both, which is good for the defense. I mean, to match that year over year for offense, fair enough, is tough, but not ideal. Still giving up 188 yards rushing on the ground. Too much. And what is the record? 5-7. 3-6 in conference. Points per game is 28, 72nd out of 130. Points against, 330. Opponents' points per game, 27.8, 66th out of 130. Not good enough. 2018, same stats. Opponents' points per game, 88th out of 130. 31 points per game. Points per game themselves, 58th. Giving up a lot of points. Then you go to 2020, 8 games, 3-5. Not good, folks. At all. 2021, 3-9. Even worse. When you look at technically the win percentage, down. 2022, 3 games in, 1-2, took the can. So the boy Scott Frost, who's now back at UCF for his first year, again, what did Scott Frost say? Don't take the wrong job. Nebraska's the wrong job. Nebraska did not fit me. I was pulled the wrong direction. I was not set up for success, is what he's saying. 4 years you had at the school. 3 full seasons, and then a 4th. Overall win percentage at Nebraska, 34%. 16-31. The first coach in Nebraska's storied history over the past 6 decades to not have a winning percentage of 500 or more. Where is that stat? Here we go. The first coach in over 5 decades to not have a winning percentage of 500 or more, folks. That is Scott Frost. But it's okay, folks, because it's not his fault. I took the wrong job. The Huskers system did not set me up for success. That's not my fault, folks. Not the AD's fault. Not the fans' fault. Excuse me. It's the AD's fault. It's the program's fault. It's the fans' fault. It's everything around the Husker system. I took the wrong job. I should never have left UCF. I wasn't happy. Tone deaf. Just tone deaf. It's unbelievable. Just say when you get a softball question, hey, it didn't work out. I wish Nebraska all the best. Obviously, I played there, coached there. Just didn't work out the way we hoped. I'm focused on UCF. Boom, you're done. You are done. That's all you have to say. And you're done with your softball question. You can focus on UCF. But no, you're taking a jab at the Cornhuskers who have treated you so well, who have tried to forget about the bad seasons you had as a coach. Scott Frost as a coach. Again, we talked about head coach. He was a graduate assistant in 2002 after his NFL playing days. Then went to Kansas State, Northern Iowa, assistant coach, co-defensive coordinator. Oregon, 7 seasons. High-powered Big 12 team at the time. Assistant coach, offensive coordinator. UCF, 2 seasons there. Prodigal son, come back to Nebraska, failed. No titles here around Nebraska. Nothing. Head coach, 2 seasons. Really good at UCF 1 year, under 500 1 year. Nebraska, under 500 year after year after year. So please tell me, how was this the wrong job, Scott? I would love to know. It's a very tone-deaf comment. I've read everything that people have put online, and they completely agree as well. Just a very tone-deaf comment. Again, I understand that I'm relatively new to Nebraska, and I don't have the history here. I didn't get to cover Scott Frost. A lot of people, born and raised Nebraska, saw him play as a player, came back as a coach, lived through the situations. They have a lot more tribal knowledge, we call it. And I'm here doing my homework, reading about it, understanding it, putting my 2 cents into it. But just on a human sense, such a terrible comment to say. Don't take the wrong job about your alma mater. If there was any iciness there, any hatred between player and the fans, well, it's there now, for sure. Maybe people are trying to forget about it, but it's not being forgot about at all. It's just a crazy comment to say. So, folks, please in the YouTube comments, comment your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you like the comment? More often, I assume you did not like the comment. And again, voicemails. Leave Randy Silver TV, leave NTV News on Instagram, on Facebook, voice notes. And I want to play it for you guys next week as we talk about it. Woo! That nice little rant right there, folks. Just wild to think about what he said. Now that takes you to the second part, which we can actually talk about the X's and O's of this upcoming season. Football season, folks, is less than 2 months away. And the Big Ten Media Day, Matt Rule will be there. I assume Raiola will be there as well. Maybe a couple other players. That's happening end of July, my understanding, if I remember correctly. Big 12 had their media day this week, and Cincinnati's head coach talked about what he expects from the Cornhuskers when they play in Arrowhead Stadium. Excited for that. So let's play the comments and talk about it.
Yeah, we're excited about the first game. Nebraska's Coach Rule has obviously done a great job there getting that program back. Went to a bowl game last year. They did some really good things in the portal this offseason, brought in some great players, some linemen, receivers, some defensive players. Now we're playing in a neutral site. It's going to be exciting to play in Kansas City. We feel like we've got to be hitting on all cylinders when you're starting the season playing against a team like Nebraska. There's been a little bit more sense of urgency, I think, in our building throughout the summer of getting ready for this first game, and we know it'll be a great challenge and it's a great test. Obviously looking forward to that.
I love the comments there, folks. We're talking football. Big 12, third year for Scott Satterfield and Cincinnati after moving from the mid-major, just like UCF. 3-9, 5-7. 2-win improvement, under 500 last year. We look at Nebraska, again, past 2 years under Matt Rule, won the Pinstripe Bowl last year, 5-7, 7-6. Went from under 500 to above 500, 2-win improvement. So similar trajectory in the sense of building with a new program, with a coach, in a power school. Looking at Cincinnati's stats last year, 420 yards on offense a game. Nice, powered, but gave up 385 yards on defense. Rushing, giving up 162 yards per game. That's a lot on the ground, folks. You look at Nebraska last year. Let's zoom in. Total offense, 359 yards. I would like to think the Big Ten's harder than the Big 12. Giving up 317. That's a lot on defense to give up yards-wise. Rushing-wise, gave up about 100 yards a game. So you think statistically, our rushing attack, the O-linemen we have a better shot against their defense than their offense has against our defense on the ground. You look at passing yards giving up per game, 216. Cincinnati was at 228. So you think passing-wise will be very similar. However, it will come down to the rushing attack. If we can control the ground, Cincinnati to Arrowhead, Kansas City, is much farther than Lincoln, or let's just say Nebraska in general, to Arrowhead. You think this is a neutral site game? Yes, but Nebraska should be taking over this stadium. Make it loud, make it proud. You look at the turnovers per game. Cincinnati gave up 1.5 per game on offense, and they got back 1 turnover a game. You look at Nebraska, very similar as well. 1.5 on offense, about 1 on defense. So I really do think this game's going to come down to who can control the ground. You look at the passing. Dylan, the second year in the offense, he's been looking good in the summer, I've been told. I've been reading about. I've seen him around a little bit. Looks in shape as well. So now, as we get closer to this game, we'll do a full breakdown. Obviously, with summer camp, we'll know depth charts and things like that. We'll have interviews with players. We'll have interviews with the coaching staff, press conferences. So we'll get closer to that. We'll break it down. But I wanted to give you guys a high-level overview that Cincinnati's coming prepared. And we need to be ready for that as well. Because when you get to our schedule, which I talked about a little bit, August 30th is going to come very quickly. This is July 10th of this recording and being released. That's a month and a half away. And then you have 2, quote-unquote, softball, easier games. And then you get Michigan and Michigan State back-to-back at home, Akron, Houston at home, Maryland, Minnesota on the road, Northwestern, USC, UCLA at Penn State, Iowa. If there's a season for Nebraska to run the table, it can happen. I really think it happens. If they can beat Michigan and be 4-0 to start the season, I don't see why they can't be undefeated moving to Penn State. And at that point, you would probably be a top 10 team in the rankings just because you're undefeated. But of course, no slip-ups, no injuries. A lot can happen in that time. Whew. Again, comment your thoughts, folks. Love to see it. And that takes us to the Roaming with Randy this week, where I went to the Clearwater Big Rodeo. As a Californian most of my life, came here via Orlando. I've never been to rodeo. The PBR does travel throughout Southern California. Never went. So it was cool to go see the small town of 300 people host a multi-thousand person rodeo, plus a concert after. I learned so much about the rodeo being there, the different types of events, more than just bull riding, the community it brings along, the festivities, how people look forward to every year, talking to people who've been around for decades at the rodeo and how it's evolved. So it was a really unique experience. Here's a quick video about it, a short video called Roaming with Randy on social media. Again, if you want to see the full Roaming with Randy vlog on YouTube, the link's below so you can find it as well.
So we hit up Clearwater's Big Rodeo, and honestly, it's way more than just bulls and barrel racing. This rodeo has been going strong for over 50 years, starting way back in the 1960s. In the small town of 300 people, It's grown into one of Nebraska's most iconic small-town traditions. This isn't just a weekend event, it's the heartbeat of the whole town people wait all year for. The second you roll in, you can feel it. Everyone's out. Families, kids, grandparents. People plan their summers around this weekend. It's like a reunion mixed with a full-blown adrenaline rush. There's bull riding, broncs, the ring of fear. Folks, this is basically 6 people versus 1 angry bull. And even kids riding sheep in the mutton bustin'. It's not just a rodeo. There's a concert as well with some of the biggest country stars rolling through. It's Clearwater's showing the world what community pride looks like with a little dirt in your boots. To see the full video, click the link in bio for the vlog on YouTube. Until next time, y'all.
I hope you enjoyed that, folks. Again, please check the link below for the full roaming with Randy. I want to hear your thoughts on Scott Frost. I want to hear your thoughts on other related news. Again, we're getting to the dog days of summer here, July. Huskers are going to start coming back for volleyball, for football. Their training camps, the season comes to the early fall, late summer. A lot to happen, and we're going to keep you up to date with everything you need to know. Please subscribe to NTV News YouTube, our socials, so you see stuff like this. Can't wait for you guys to continue to get the best news from us here at NTV Sports Central. That is this week's podcast. Please turn the voicemail so we can play them next week. I'll see you on the next episode.
In sports, we're down to the second last week of playing on the gridiron. Games are on top as well.